Alright, is it recording?
Cars are lined up on the grid as they wait for the lights to go out. The revs are building. Let's go racing!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, punters of all ages, we welcome you to Season 9, Round 5 of Wheel-to-Wheel action here in Split 1. Tonight we bring you all the action from Red Bull Ring in Austria. Alongside me, Queensland Devil Racer, we have on commentary Untouchables. How are you this evening?
Good evening, Devil Racer, mate. I'm excited for some jam-packed action racing tonight.
Yeah, I think action is what this track is going to bring, particularly in the first race. And on visuals, we have Dodgy.
G'day, punters. So stoked to be back, especially for a wet Red Bull ring. It's going to be awesome to see these guys ice skating around here all night tonight.
Yeah, so Red Bull Ring in Austria. First race is wet and then 2 dry races. Touchy, talk us around this track.
Yeah, rightio. So, Red Bull Ring in Austria, in the foothills of the Austrian mountains in Spielberg. It is a 10-corner, 4.3-kilometre track. We all know it's famous for Formula One, and we've seen them do a couple of double headers around here the last few years, all because of that word we can't say on the YouTube. But I'm looking forward to this track. It looks small, but it's full of action.
Yeah, look, I'm really excited to see our Split 1 guys tackle the track in the wet tonight. There's been a lot of practice during the last 2 weeks. We've had 2 weeks off. So there's been a lot of practice in the wet. I haven't seen a lot of practice in the dry, but geez, there's some speed coming out of these guys in our Split 1.
Yeah, look, I'm surprised as well to see a lot of guys practice in the wet, just to further add to that race format. Both race 1 and race 2 tonight, only 6 laps, so a little 10-minute dash for cash, and then our third race tonight will be a 40-minute race, so a really long final race to end out the evening. So I'm surprised to see a lot of practice in the wet, considering it's only a 10-lap dash.
Yeah, it's certainly the one that requires the most amount of finesse. And when we're talking about track penalties here and track limits, we've had other tracks where you're getting 4 and 5 second penalties on some of these corners. This one you don't seem to get as many, but every corner, just about on this track, gives you a penalty if you go a little bit wide. So penalties not as severe, but certainly more frequent.
Yeah, look, the hotspots tonight for penalties are definitely going to be the exit of turn 1. You don't want to go past that massive yellow sausage curb there on turn 1. Other hotspots as well. You've got the second of the right-handers, the second of the 2 only right-handers on this track. Both entry and exit of that corner are very big penalty hotspots. And then the final 2 corners and exiting the lap as well. You don't want to go too wide of the curbing there, and then you don't want to cut the curbing too much as well on the inside there. They will also reward penalties, and you can earn yourself a 2 or 3 second penalty quite easily.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we're about to kick off qualifying for these guys, what are you expecting a good qualifying lap time to be here for our Split 1 guys, Touchy?
We're doing a bit of practice this afternoon. Apex Humper was hitting mid 49s, so I'd probably say 49s to 50s is what I'm looking to see tonight, and we'll wait for the guys to get on track, and we'll do a quick run through of the familiar faces and the familiar liveries that we see week in, week out here at Top Split.
Yeah, so first one out on the track is G-Force Gang, the G-Man, the Golden Mullet. So he's up from D-League this week, promoted straight to Div 1. And following him is Dale Teeks in that hot rod Ferrari.
And closely behind Dale there, we've got Apex Humper again. We were just mentioning him earlier. Probably one of the guys to look out for in qualifying. And Clocade's back in Split 1 again. Clocade's shown some amazing pace this season in that Dynaco Rusty's Ferrari.
Yeah, and following him is Zoo in the Bumblebee Ferrari, and then Scooter 82, who is up in split one again.
In 7th place we've got the waifu livery, DJ Stefko for the serial killers there. Go Stefko, and then following him behind there, Pure Axel. As always, Pure Axel saying he's got no pace in the rain and no pace for top split, but he will definitely be able to keep it up with everyone tonight.
Yeah, he's one of the aliens in the league, no doubt about that. Following him on track is another alien in Adam V10 in that Ken livery, and then Tombo in his Rusty's Lightning McQueen livery there.
And then to round out the field tonight, a surprise late entry. We've got Oily in My Blood racing for the 13R Toothpaste livery boys there. He was a nice surprise to see Oily here in top split. And following him, Fixer Chris, one who is relatively new to the league now, but surprising the top end of town here in top split with the pace that he shows week in and week out.
Why don't we stay with Chris there, fellas? I might go in car and you can show us the track, eh?
Yep. All right, as we're coming up to turn one, hard on the brakes, down into third gear, rolls it through, very smooth. Being careful to not stay wide past that ripple strip or you get a penalty. And flat out now up towards the tight right-hander. So a little bit of a kink here and braking well after the 150. A late break there from Chris. Back into second gear, goes wide there, misses the apex, but gets the power on well, keeps it straight. And flat out now down towards this downhill tight right-hander that is very tricky to get right. And if you get it wrong, you're in the kitty litter. So hard braking at about the 125, 130 mark, back to second. Oh, he's missed that apex as well. Chris is not having a good first lap. Maybe he's just being conservative to get one in the bank. Up into fourth. He'll knock this back to third gear here. Looks like Oily's gone wide ahead of him. Just modulating that accelerator very carefully as you come out there. You don't want it to step out. Up into fourth. Some will go back to third. Some will leave it in fourth. Chris goes back to third. Oily a bit taily ahead. Chris flat from third into fourth. So we come down. Now this section you want to float it through very carefully. So braking late back into fourth and just, floats it through there nicely. And then this one very carefully back into third. And once you get it straight, you're right to go full noise again. So there's a lap from Fixer Chris. That'll put him in ninth at the moment with a 149. So
your top current at the moment in qualifying. Got Apex Humper there sitting on the pole at the moment with a 48.3. Scooter 82 in second place with a 48.6, about 3/10 behind Scooter. And G, first time back into top split G, 48.7. He's sitting about another 2/10 behind Scooter and 4/10 overall from pole position. So good showing from G first week back. He has not lost any pace whatsoever.
Yeah, go the golden mullet. This is his element here, in with faster drivers. So following him is Teeksy, only 1/10 behind, and Zoo, only 1.5 tenths behind him. So very tight at the top end of the field here.
Just got to say, 1 second separates the first 11 drivers. With Adam V all the way down in 11th spot at the moment, about a second behind those that have said that. He's just gone purple in the second sector on Apex's time. Whether he's purple overall, we'll yet to see. And we've got Oily, who's obviously scratched his first lap. He's about 4.3 behind.
Yeah, so Adam definitely in unfamiliar territory here at the moment. He's just come around the last corner now and gets it a little bit sideways out of there, but he's kept it straight. Power on, let's see if he gets improvement. And yeah, there's a little bit of improvement there from Adam. So he's gone to the top of the leaderboard. As Fixer Chris rounds the corner now to finish his lap. And he's in third. So one more driver left to finish. Who is this? Oily.
48.3 from Adam. That's an awesome effort there from him to go from 11th to first.
Oily must have had a bad laugh. He didn't care.
He wasn't
So it
improving.
goes across. No, no. So there we go. Adam V, pole position for our wet race here at the Red Bull Ring.
Who are we starting with, fellas?
Who have we got?
We've got to start with the G. The G, he's back in 7th, but we've got to start with the G on his first time back in top split.
Yeah, good call. And the G's got that Ferrari rocketing off the line here in the wet, so he'll be a good one to get on with.
It's going to be an interesting start here in the wet as well. Lights are on. Lights out and away we go for race 1 here of wheel-to-wheel top split. Everyone gets a very even start. You've got Adam and Apex fighting for first corner honours there. Adam's going to hold it around the outside. Apex is just going to give him a little rub there. Fixer Chris looking behind there in 3rd place at the moment. Adam and Apex still side by side going to turn 1. They've all gotten through nice and cleanly, heading up through to turn 3. They're 2x2 towards the back of the field. They're 2x2 at the front of the field as well. Zoo was looking for a move around the outside. He slips back into line. They're now line astern after turn 3. Your top 3, Adam V, Apex Hunter and Fixer Chris.
Yeah, look, very clean couple of corners there to start this race. Everyone very cautious and tiptoeing around in the wet. So Adam V leading through this difficult section and Apex right in behind him. We haven't seen a lot of rubbing or a lot of touching at all. These guys very respectful racing. And I would imagine this is how the next 6 laps are going to go. These guys are going to give each other room. There's not going to be any crazy dive bombs. They just want to get through and survive these 6 laps.
Just having a quick look through the field, and it doesn't look like anyone was brave enough to try the inters here. If you're familiar with GT Sport, there's a couple of different rain features. A couple of times a day can accommodate inters, but looks like wets is the way to go for this first race.
Yeah, wets have definitely been the way to go. I see G has moved up to 6, so he's made up one position.
Side out of the final corner, sorry to jump in there, Devil, but we've got Apex up is taking the lead for lap 1. Adam V and Apex both are doing Tokyo drifts out of the final turn, and Fixer Chris as well is going to take that position, and Adam V from 1st to 3rd.
Yeah, he must have got it a little bit out of shape coming out of that last corner for both of them to jump in, but Fixer Chris now into the lead as we head on down the straight into the next tight right-hander, and he's on the inside, so he should be able to hold that position. Adam giving him a bit of a push and a bit of a help.
Yeah, look, Apex trying to hold him tight on the inside there just to keep as much of the racing line as possible there. Zuzu was trying to shove the nose in there on Adam V out of turn 3. He thinks better of it and pulls out, but they're back to line astern now.
Yeah, Apex around the outside of that corner. What a move in the wet. As we come up here now, a little bit of a late break there as he gets the rear end out wide. This gives Chris an opportunity, but he's on the outside of the next turn now.
Oh, Tombo was drifting out of turn 3 as well, back into 9th place there. But the action's definitely right up the front of the field here. Their line astern, they're all drifting through the corners here. These guys are really trying to wring out 11 tenths out of these Ferraris.
Yeah, and it gets really hard to get maximum pace out of these things with 0 traction in the wet around here. So the fact that we're not seeing any door bashing and whatnot it's an absolute miracle as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, look, the racing here is amazing here at the Red Bull Ring already. I'm already lost for words, and we've only just started.
And for those that are watching at home, if you get online and check out any of the other sim racing leagues that are on and some of these specialists that do track guides, when you compare the fastest guys in the world, our Split 1 drivers are up there with them. So if you're looking at getting into sim racing, I think we have 6 divisions in total in our league, so yeah, they drop about a second a lap as you go down the splits. So that we have room to fit everyone, but Apex now getting out to a bit of a gap here, and
no!
Fixer with a really late braking move. Oh, Adam's gone.
Yeah,
Adam's off.
I think
He's in 11th.
Pure Axel, who went bowling in 12th place. Dodgy, we're going to have to get a replay of that one, unfortunately.
Let's see what we can come up with, fellas. I'll see if I caught it. Feeling a bit rusty. Who we got? We've got Adam here currently in 3rd. We've just got him coming around onto that last straight. He's got Scooter 82, 2 people coming up behind him in pairs. And yep, he is just full on punted, unfortunately. I didn't see who it was. I think it might have been Pure Axel. So poor Adam was taken out with that one.
Yeah, well, Pure Axel went off there as well. So yeah, you would probably expect those two had a coming together. But out in the front now, Apex has got out to a half a second lead, so he's got a bit of a buffer. And Fixer Chris is just over a second ahead of Scooter 82. So those two seem to be clearing out a little bit from the rest of the pack now. If they can keep it straight, it could come down to a 2-horse race.
Yeah, look, we'd hate to say that there was a punt involved there. I feel like Pure Axel may have just been trying the brakes a bit too hard there, and was probably just a bit too late. As 7th and 8th, or 6th and 7th place, sorry, we've got Tombo down the inside of Stefco. Stefco's going to try and fight it around the inside here at turn 1, and he will just gladly give that position up to Tombo for the traction, the run up the hill to turn 3.
Yep.
Yeah, nice move there from Tombo.
Just for the record there, Touchy, in my mind, I like it better if he's getting punted. Makes it a lot more exciting. I like to think that Pure Axel just kept his foot to the floor and just totally went, "You're mine."
Well, look, if Pure Axel and Adam B were fighting hard for the championship about a year or 2 ago, it's probably payback for Pure Axel for Adam B winning. But guys, as well, let's get the quick mention in here while we're still laughing away. If you're absolutely enjoying this this wet mess that is Red Bull Ring, please hit us with that like. The more likes, the better. We did say last week that Brisbane insurance brokers were doing free insurance policies for all GT Sport cars for all those likes. So keep smashing that like button there.
I don't know that the sponsorship extends to vehicle damage, but we'll have a crack. So out in front, Apex and Chris still with that 1.5 second lead over Scooter 82. G-Force has moved up into 4th place, so really good to see the G-Man. Not only the fact that I'm part of the same team, but really good to see G-Man in his first go in Split 1 making way through here. He was really nervous about his debut, so putting in a good show.
Look, G belongs up in here, mate. He's been in and out of the league for quite a while now. He's almost the grandfather of the league, so to say, and he's an absolute top bloke. Everyone always likes to have a good chat with him throughout the practice lobbies throughout the week whenever he's on, and yeah, he definitely deserves to be back up in here.
Yeah, look, and as he goes purple, G's one of the drivers who's more than happy to help anyone. They don't have to be in the same team. He's more than happy to help anyone with tips and advice. So people that are in the league, they jump in the practice lobbies with G and he will tell you how to get faster.
Back up to 1st and 2nd at the moment. Chris was looking down the inside of Apex. He's tried to switch it around the outside, and Apex has just held the line there and sort of just extended his brake out just a little bit, just to own the corner and tell Chris, mate, you gotta work a lot harder to get past me, mate, to make that position.
Yeah, not the ideal corner to go around the outside on, and Apex just made it that little bit harder. But even with that battling, these guys are extending the lead. It's almost out to 2 seconds now as Chris goes purple as well. So we head around to the last set of corners, and then we'll be starting the last lap. It really is coming down to these two. They're extending that lead even further now.
And yeah, I'm surprised to see how far the field is spread out over this short, fast 10-minute race. I doubt this will happen in race 2, just a few moments from now. But yeah, the field's split out a little bit. A couple of little pelotons and groups. As Fixer Chris takes the purple lap away with a 48.8. That is illegally fast around here.
Yeah, this is the last chance they've got. So final lap now as Apex leads them up the back straight. Coming into the first of the tight right-handers. Fixer Chris right under his wing, not letting him get away at all. Will he have a crack? Oh, he's going the outside. He's gone the outside. Apex went around him on the outside here before, but Fixer cannot duplicate that, so back in behind him again.
Little bit of wheel spin out of turn 3 there. I didn't quite catch whether Chris was looking down the inside or whether Apex was pushing, or not pushing, Chris out to the wider aspect. As Apex, he misses his braking mark, and that opens the door for Fixer Chris. He almost finds the gravel there on the exit turn 3, and Fixer Chris is going to take the lead here on the last half of the lap. And he's going to cover the move down the inside, and Apex has got nothing better to do than just to slam on the anchors.
And now Chris is wide.
These guys are pushing wide.
Wow, this is exciting stuff here in the last lap. And even with that, they're still holding a 2-second lead over Scooter. Apex is getting it sideways now. They're trying hard on this last lap. Fixer gets a bit of a buffer there.
He's got half a second. I don't think Apex can make up half a second in the final 2 corners. And I think Fixer Chris is going to take the win.
Final corner as he rounds. Yeah, look, he keeps it straight. Well done, Fixer Chris. This will be a race 1 win. And half a second over Apex, followed by Scooter 82. G up in 4th, well done. Zoo in 5th. Tombo, Stefko in 7th. Teexy in 8th. Cloakade through for 9th. Then Pure Axel in 10th. Oily in 11th. And Adam will be bringing up the rear in 12th. So a lot of action in that race. We focused a lot on the front, and there were quite a few lead changes. So well done, Fixer Chris.
What an amazing first race and an amazing start to the night there. And we didn't pick it up there, but Adam V also picked up a penalty throughout that lap there as well. So that didn't help his chances of trying to get off the bottom runs there of the leaderboard.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So.
Well, who wants Adam to start at the front for the next race? No one. Other than Adam.
Well, if you're a betting man, then that's where your money's going, isn't it?
That's the one.
So the next race, we're race 2, another 6-lapper, but this one will be in the dry, and obviously reverse grid. So while the guys are getting a bit of practice now in the dry, just like to remind you of our sponsors. First one being Next Level Racing. Next Level Racing is the world's leading simulation brand, revolutionising simulation with its industry-leading product range. Check them out at www.nextlevelracing.com. And Dodgy, you've got a video for us.
I do. Look, and let's go with this. We've got a rather unruly mob now, I won't say that. This guy is pretty awesome. I've heard he's looking after a lot of our guys. Brisbane insurance brokers they are, so if you're chasing any insurance, just have a look at this one.
Brisbane Insurance Brokers has been recognised as the best in commercial and industrial insurance. They can help with all manner of general insurance needs, including your personal insurance for your home and car. Contact them through their website, brisbaneinsurancebrokers.com.au for all your insurance needs.
And there you go, Brisbane Insurance Brokers, definitely looking after our few of our drivers, so get onto it. You'll find their website on that clip, so yeah, get after it. Devil, what do you think of Brisbane Insurance Brokers?
Oh, well, mate, I'm probably a little bit biased, but definitely the best looking insurance broker in the country. So, oh, look, I'm really excited here for race 2, reverse grid. Adam starting off the front. I'm also really excited to see how G goes in this one as well. He moved up from 7th to 4th in that race, so really good result. I didn't see how too many others went, but he was probably, apart from Fixer Chris winning it, he's probably the one that's put in the drive of that race to move up those positions.
Yeah, and we had Scooter as well, who started in 4th place. He ended up finishing 3rd as well, so well done to Scooter there as well. Another returnee to the top split of wheel to wheel. So the guys that are coming back strong.
Yeah, all right, so we will kick off here and get this race started.
Shout out to the guys watching on YouTube and Facebook. Thank you for all for tuning in tonight. I'm sure you guys don't have too much better to do on a Sunday night apart from watching a action-packed round of racing as race 2 has gridded up.
Who do you want, fellas?
Well, let's jump on with Stefko this time in 6th.
Sixth.
Lights, we've got one red light. It seems to be holding them for a long... Here we go, lights are going.
3,
It's holding them for a long time.
5 red lights. And
away we go.
Away we go. A long hold there by the stewards for race 2.
So coming into turn 1, we've got Oil in My Blood on the inside. Doesn't make a move on Adam. Adam gets through to clean. Tombo around the outside of Stefko. What a move there. That was a bit wild, but he's made it.
Pure Axel on the right there of Oily. He's going to get the run up the hill to turn 3. And your top 3 at the moment looks like it's going to be Adam, Pure Axel and Oil, but you've got Cloquet pushing Pure Axel through the corner. The Dynaco machine not looking to hang around in this second race, but Oily's managed to hold position. So Oily, Pure Axel, Adam V, your top 3 out of turn 3.
Yeah, and Adam getting away to a bit of a break here. He's got almost a second on Pure Axel at the moment. He'll probably be, after last race, he's probably wanting to stay away from Pure Axel in this one. So...
Yeah, well, as we just said there before, you don't want Adam V on pole in a dry race because he's now got the makings of a commanding race victory here. And as I'm keeping an eye on the field towards the back of the pack here, they were going 2 by 2 into turn 4. So Adam V looking to capitalise on race 2.
Hey, Touchy.
Yeah.
You could almost say he's got the bull by the horns.
Oh.
Yes,
I was going to say something about... Yeah. Oily's holding down 3rd. Oily's recently married and tells me he's got 2 buses, so pretty sure I know what his intentions are. He's going to breed himself a football team there. And following him is Tombo in 4th. So with a big group of cars here, the 2 by 2 going into turn 1. Or as they spread out through there and go single file, well, that could have ended disastrously, but geez, these guys are good through there.
They're definitely pushing the boundaries here at
the
Red Bull
who's
Ring.
that? G-Force has got a penalty. It's dropped him way back to last. Unfortunate G-Man.
Oh, he's just gone purple there for the first sector, even though that penalty there.
Second lap purple. Yeah. But out in front, Adam is extending this lead now. He's out to 1.2 seconds over Pure Axel. Definitely staying away from him, and Pure Axel 2.5 seconds ahead of Oily. But all the action at the moment is for 3rd place.
Yeah, Dale was looking down the inside there of Oily, and Oily then just chops the nose off Dale. But yeah, we've got the Oily bus is definitely here, mate. That's for sure. Going 3rd all the way back to 11th. So he's going to... certainly seeing a bit more aggression from these drivers in the dry now. A bit more grip to throw these cars around. Look, the soft tyres, they provide that absolute benefit there of fast racing, and and combine that with a 10-minute race distance. These guys are just going to throw the car from wall to wall, corner to corner, and they're really just going to push out and milk out the last possible bit of pace they can out of it.
Teeksy's having a look. Tombo's around.
Down the inside.
Steph
Tombo pushing Oily through the corner.
Oily's really wide.
And
Oily's going to get a penalty there, surely.
No, he's not. He's not. Contact through there will not give him a penalty, I can guarantee you that now.
Yep, no, you're right. No penalty for Oily.
Oily's managed to hold third position there with the help of Tombo there, and I think Oily's repaying the favour to Tombo by giving him the move down the inside. Stefko's also just down the inside as well, but gets a little bit squirrely there on a corner exit.
Teeksy's dropped back a few positions there through that those bit of shenanigans, so he was probably the one that's lost out the most there, as he chose the nose on Stefko, but probably not close enough.
He's got it.
Bit of action on the exit of that turn. They're still going at it. Oh, no, they've lined in now.
Further back in the pack there in 10th place, Zoo going side by side with Fixer Chris down the first of the two left-handers through this mid-sector of the track. And all this battling has just given Adam V a 1.7 second lead, as Purax has got a half-second penalty as well. He's just burnt that before the final two corners there, and that's just going to extend out Adam V's lead. And I think Purax has gone wide on the second to last corner as well. May have given himself another penalty. He gives himself another 1.5 seconds worth of penalties. Puraxel this afternoon in the practice lobbies was absolutely spewing with the penalties here. He's not too happy at all whatsoever with the track limits that the stewards drew out, and I think he'll be having a chat to Dale for next week.
Yeah, well, that's put him back in the clutches of Tombo now, and Tombo will have that red mist in his eyes now, having seen Puraxel and Adam clear off, and now he's got the opportunity to take that second place. Fixer Chris really wide, breaking up the inside there. Three wide around that turn. Teeksy's got it a little bit sideways. I think he might have got a hit from someone. Chris has made up a mammoth amount of spaces there, up to 7th.
Dale, Zoo and Apex still 3 wide into the corner, and Dale does the smart thing and pulls out of that. But
G-Man's back in the mix.
Down the inside.
All this battling's got G-Man back in the mix here.
And Oily still in 4th position at the moment. Oily. And Steph.
Yeah, he's got a Oily in 4th. He's got a bit of a break over Stefko and a bit of a gap to Tombo, so he can just put the head down now for this last 2 and a bit laps and hold on to that 4th position.
I tell you, Devil, I'm loving the new race formats here for season 9. These are much shorter races, tend to pull in a lot of action, and a lot of the guys have been asking for action-packed races over the off-season. So I'm loving these shorter races.
Yeah, look, and I'm certainly enjoying the Ferraris as opposed to the 86s that we had last season. As Chris goes wide through turn 1, will he get a penalty there? I don't think he is. Yes, he does. 1 second penalty. Wow, that'll undo all of the work that he did, and someone else has got a penalty.
Zoo and Chris both getting penalties, and that's just going to cause angst. It's almost 4 wide and it's turn 3. And
well, we said there was no door rubbing in race 1. They've made up for it here because they're going 2 and 3 wide through corners, and there's definitely been some door rubbing. But G-Man, after that early penalty, has moved his way back up to 8th. Just by keeping it clean. Well done, G-Man. Go the golden mullet.
Looks like you've got Stepko creeping up on Oily in 4th there too.
Yeah, he's only a couple of tenths behind, so that could be where the next move is. And right behind Stefko, we've got Scooter and Apex battling. So Apex making his way through the field from, second last up to 7th at the moment.
Tyres are looking good across the board here as well. In I got to say, Adam V's out to a 5.1 second lead going into the final lap. This is going to be an emphatic victory here for Adam V in that V Corsa / Miami Vice / Barbie / Ken / whatever you want to call it car.
So Apex making a move here. And he's got the move done on Scooter into turn 1, but they're still side by side as they go up the back straight now.
And
Scooter getting him back.
Penalty in position 2. He's not burning it. And he's gone ahead and decided to burn it into the braking zone of turn 3. Hopefully the stewards were looking away for that one, because I'd hate to see Pure Axle pick up another penalty for that post-race.
Well, if they were pointing it out, they're probably putting it right in their face now. So that gives Adam now a 6-second lead here as we go around the last lap. Geez, I'm a conservative bettor, but I'd probably be happy to place some money on him for the win now.
Yeah, look,
Pure Axel holds a 1-second lead over Tombo, who holds a 1-second lead over Stefko, who's made his way past Oily. But Scooter and Apex are still battling it out for 6th place here at the moment. They are side by side.
Adam could do a lap of the pits here and he'd still win by a margin and a half. He decides to take the racing line out of the final corner, and he comes to the line in another country. Adam V takes the win for race 2. Emphatic victory there, 6 seconds over Pure Axle.
Over Pure Axle, yep. Oh, and Apex is going to get Scooter 82 on the line by 2/100ths of a second. Wow, what a finish there. So Scooter up into 7th, G-Force brings it home in 8th, Teexy in 9th, Cloakade in 10th, and I didn't see who the others were.
Okay, we'll bring it up.
And Adam V cleaning house for race 2, pole position, fastest lap, clean race. You all made a big mistake taking Adam V out for race 1. He's just showed everyone exactly what he can do for race 2, and I'd be very scared of what he's going to achieve come race 3.
The whole 40 minutes of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeez. And so taking all 3 stars there in that race, he'll be starting from the rear in the long one. Apex has moved up throughout that race, so he'll be another one to keep an eye out in the long race, as he is every week.
Yeah, so 40 minutes coming up now. We've got the one mandatory pit stop there for the tyre change from the hard to soft compound. Devil, what are your thoughts, or what are you expecting to see for the next 40 minutes?
Well, in a little bit of practice that I've done, you can do with a bit of fuel saving in this Ferrari without sacrificing too much lap speed. You can get 16 laps out of it in softs, and the softs hold up really well. So 14 laps if you don't fuel save at all. So with 25 lap race, we're either going to see guys do somewhere between 14 and 16 laps on softs, which is going to leave them somewhere between 9 and 11 laps on mediums. So certainly the guys up the front, you'd be expecting them to start on softs. With the guys at the rear, you would expecting them to be starting on the mediums. So, and then obviously slipstreaming is going to help with fuel saving. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see the different strategies that do come to play. But before we go into that, we've got another couple of sponsors to mention. So races provide dedicated support for motorsport event operators from grassroots to professionals. Contact them through their website, races.world. And our other sponsor, Future Studios. Born from the streets of Melbourne, Future Studios will be the place to get all of your streetwear needs when they launch their exciting new website in early 2022. And Dodgy, I believe you've got another video for us.
Yeah, we have. We've got a much welcomed newcomer to our sponsor ranks here at Wheel to Wheel in Jade Finance. So I'll spin this one and yeah, definitely take a look at him.
Do you own a business needing new equipment? Or perhaps you're wanting a good set of wheels for that shiny new bike licence? Maybe you're after that well-earned boat for retirement. Or you desperately need a new car or caravan for those family getaways? Get in touch with Jade Finance today.
Yeah, so there you go, Devil. If when you're looking to go buy that Bentley GT Continental that you're going to be racing, Jade Finance is definitely the one to go see.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind buying it. I just didn't want to pay for it.
And that's where we've got Jade Finance in there.
So while we're letting these guys do a bit of practice, we might bring up our leaderboard, Stodgy. So we should have the Div 1 leaderboard up first. Is that right?
Yep, absolutely. Div 1 is up for you now.
All right, so leading our Div 1 at the moment, we have Apex Humper on 2,656 points. He's had a very good season and followed close behind by Fixer Chris, who is only 79 points behind. Pure Axel in third, who's only another 73 points behind Chris. So very tight at the top of the table. Adam V in fourth, of course. Ando, who's not here tonight. Tombo's had a good first couple of races, so he'll be posting good results tonight. Cloakade back in Div 1. KZ, who's missing out tonight as well. Stefco then in ninth. Squidley, who is not racing in Split 1 tonight. Then followed by Zoo, Oil in My Blood, Suit Lad, Teaksy and Captain Lowside. So a couple drivers missing from the Div 1 ranks tonight. And then our teams championship.
For the
Do we really want to mention it? Because Ando's watching.
No.
I can see him commenting there, and you know what's going to happen if you mention it.
I know.
Look, I think he's jumped onto his phone really quickly just before he flies out. Hopefully he flies out and into his sim rig to try and give us the handicap in the rest of the league. But Rusty's Racing sadly leading the league at the moment with 10,489 points, followed closely by DAM Racing, about 1,000 odd points behind in second place, and third place V Corsa with about 8,982 points in the team's championship. Boys, I feel like this might be the season where the bonus points really come down to play on who's going to win it and who's going to bin it. And we can see there DAM Racing with the 45 extra bonus points, sort of keeping them there in the fight.
Yeah, look, Rusty's almost running away with it at the moment when you look at how many extra points they're getting per round than Damn Racing. You know, last round 600 extra points, the round before that 300 before that. So it's almost like they have an extra Div 2 driver in their team with the points haul that they're getting every week. But Flat Out Racing had some good results there, and they'll be looking to push into the top three. Certainly with G-Man now up in Split 1, he'll be looking to improve his points haul. So yeah, look, they could also be a team to look out for.
Yeah,
Rusties
were really lucky there to score a couple of good drivers there for their team push this season.
Yeah, well, like that was smart shopping, really. Scooter 82 was a very cheap pickup, and straight into Split 1 for that guy. Scooteria Quadrifolio, those guys are not too far behind Flat Out Racing. They're a new team. 13R Autosport, our toothpaste team, 400 points arrears of Scooteria, and then Serial Killers and Low and Slow, who are another new team to the league.
Yeah,
so we
slow run from Flossie, who was part of the original Leftovers many a season ago. He's been killing it there as a team owner for Low and Slow Racing, and I've got to say the cars those guys have pulled out for this season looking schmick.
Yeah, they are. And look, we might kick this last race off, guys.
Yeah, look, the donuts are going, so it must be time to kick things off for race 3. Let's let these guys go, get them off the leash. And yeah, race 3 is going to be
Well,
hectic.
as we run, we'll let the first lap get underway, and then we might have a look at who's running mediums and who's running softs. Zoo starting on the front here.
Thinking G from 5th place at the moment. I think we go on board with him for the start of race 3. And lights are on, 4 lights, 5 lights, engines are silent, revs rising, and it lights out and away we go. And again, another even start across the board for top split. Fixer Chris and Zoo fighting it into turn 1. Looks like Fixer Chris is going to get the jump on Zoo, as well as Cloakade as well. Surprise jumping out of nowhere there from Cloakade. He's got the run up the hill, he's got the slip there of Fixer Chris. Your top 3 going into turn 3, Fixer Chris, Cloakade and Zuzu.
Yeah, look, Zoo's shown some really good pace over the last couple of weeks, but he's been hampered by track limit penalties pretty much every week. So let's hope he doesn't get that curse this week and is able to. And as I say that, if that's not the commentator's curse, I don't know what is. So half a second penalty for Zoo on the opening lap. Sorry, buddy.
I mean, we saw earlier with G in race 2, it's best to get the penalties out early as Apex and Stefko at the back of the field there, 11th and 12th, just caught gravel on the exit of turn 4. There was pinballing up the hill into turn 3 by the back of the pack there. So yeah, these guys still pushing for 11th cents. They still must be in sprint mode.
Well, out in front, we've got Cloakade, who is currently on softs. He's being harassed by Chris at the moment, who's on mediums. So Chris tried to go around him a couple of corners back, couldn't get it done. But Chris, starting his stint on mediums, right under the wing here of Cloakade, this could bode very well for him if he can get his medium stint done and still be up the pointy end of the field.
Yeah, the good thing about Red Bull Ring, I've noticed during my practice, is the low tyre degradation around here. So the softs and the mediums don't degrade as quickly as some other tracks, and I think you'll find that the pace difference between the softs and the mediums will be quite close. So I'm not surprised to see that the field's almost evenly split on softs and mediums. Probably a few more medium runners than softs. So the soft guys will really need to concentrate and wing out the 11 tenths that they need.
And Chris is saving fuel too. So look, he could be in for a short pit stop and then a quick tail end of this race. But following Chris, we have Teaksy, who's also on mediums and starting and dropping off Chris. He's 1.2 seconds to the rear. Hassling him is Zoo, who is on softs. So Zoo will be looking to get past Teaksy as quick as he can and catch up to Cloakade and Chris. But he is all over the back end of him at the moment, causing all sorts of grief.
Yeah, Jan Scooter there, just probably another half second behind the 2 yellow machines there. Both running mediums as well. Oily on the softs back in 7th place. Oily's trying to get up towards the top of the field there in the early stages of this race. Your fastest lap at the moment is Cloakade with a 36.0, and I believe that's on softs. I was going to say that was on mediums there for a second, but no, that is on softs.
That is really quick for race pace, and because Pure Axle's copped a half a second penalty there out of turn 1. But an interesting thing with these cars on the soft tyres here is they actually get quicker because the fuel load goes down, and because the degradation on the tyres is so low, as the laps go by up to I would say around lap 12 even, you can actually go quicker.
Yeah, get your drinks ready, guys, because we'll play a quick game here for the third race tonight. Take a drink every time Pure Axle gets a half-second penalty. Oh dear. I might have to give up my spot tonight in split 2 if that's going to keep happening.
So, G-Man in 5th place at the moment. He's holding off Scooter and looking to stay on the tail of Zoo. So, G-Man on the mediums, Zoo on those softs, still trying to get around Teaksy. And just Teaksy's obviously not going to make it easy for him, but he really needs to get around him and put some space on him at the moment so that he can make the most of his soft run.
I'm keeping half an eye on Cloquet at the moment. He did the similar thing here in practice. He goes 35.8. That's lightning pace.
Wow.
Here in top split for race 2, but it looks like Cloquet is just going balls to the wall and not fuel saving at all here on his soft stint. He did this a bit early in practice as Fixer Chris gets a half-second penalty, so take a drink there. For whoever's playing at home.
That releases Cloquet. Now, Cloquet is actually on a controller, if I'm not mistaken. So fuel saving might be a bit difficult for Cloquet.
And I don't know if he's running... I would assume that he's running a manual transmission as well, as my game's bugging out for me as always. But yeah, if he's pushing this sort of pace... I wouldn't be surprised if Cloquet might take the win here.
Yeah, look, he's just definitely looking to break it open, isn't he? And put a lead on the rest of the field that can't be surmounted, and that seems to be what he's achieving at the moment. I mean, 3-second lead over Chris.
He's got clean track, he's got clean air, he doesn't have anyone that he's got to fight with. He can run his own line on the marginally better tyre. I think you'll agree with me on that one, Devil.
Scooter 82 back in 6th place at the moment is looking to get past G. So both on the mediums, and he's done it going out of the last corner. So Scooter moving up to 5th place now.
And we've got Zoo going up into 3rd as well. He's finally managed to get past Dale on the medium tyres there. Took him a couple extra laps than probably what he would like, but he's now got the opportunity there to break away from Dale, catch up to Fixer Chris, who's picked up another half-second penalty. Take a drink, ladies and gentlemen.
That is unfortunate for Chris.
Pure Axel and Tombo back in 8th and 9th place, going side by side up in turn 3. And Tombo's just going to hang Pure Axel out high and dry and command the racing line there.
So Cloquet now out to 4.7 seconds over Chris after that last penalty, and because of that penalty, Zoo is now right on his tail, so he's got a bit of a gap over Teaksy already. Nearly out to a second, and he'll be harassing Chris to get past Chris, who's on those mediums, and then Cloquet will be his next target. So with Cloquet clearing out, we could have a challenger coming up if he can get around Chris very shortly in Zoo.
Yeah,
catching Chris and getting around him are two very different things.
That's exactly right here, and look, Fixer Chris isn't going to make it too easy for Zuzu around here, and I think you'll fall. And Dale just back in 4th place at the moment, holding up Scooter 82. Scooter's going to look down the inside here into turn 1, and we're already up to lap 6 of 25 in this 3rd and final race. And down the inside, Scooter goes. Gives Dale a bit of a nudge out to the curbing, and Dale's going to lose out a position to G.
Go the golden mullet up to 5th place now.
And G's looking around the outside of Scooter as well, up into turn 3 here. That's a brave move from G, but Scooter's just gone and over. He's cooked the brakes.
Oh, there we go. He's outbraked himself and gives the space to G and to Dale. And also possibly to Oily as well. Oily looking to make a move. So Oily has the slip. Oh, now they move over. It's a braking. Yes, Oily's got it.
I'll go Oily.
Well, Oiley's actually on softs, so he should have been able to outbrake him, and he's done it convincingly there. So he'll be looking now to move through and get past Teaksy and G-Force.
And unfortunately, DJ Stefko back in 12th place has just sort of lost the back of the pack there. He will not be too happy with himself. Haven't seen Mrs. Stefko in the chat this week, which is a bit of a surprise. Mrs. Stefko usually likes to jump into the chat every now and again, talk a bit of banter with the boys.
Yeah, the wheat picks are not helping Stefko in this race, that's for sure. So did he get a penalty or did he run wide? I didn't see what happened.
Look, I don't think he's had the pace in the mediums. I think he's only just really started practicing about a few hours ago, which is how all great champions like to practice for a round of wheel to wheel. Looks
so
like he's...
Scooter in 7th is being harassed here at the moment by Oily and Pure Axle. It's Pure Axle all over the back end of both of them at the moment as Oily looks to go up the inside
big
and gets 6.
Down the inside. A little bit of
and he gets Teaksy.
Yeah, a little bit of a rub there on the hot rod there, and they're going 2 by 2. Dale and Scooter with Oily and Pure Axle. They're going to go 3 wide down here into turn 4. Pure Axle he's going to get the move done, and oh no, Scooter has found the gravel, and he's taken Apex and Adam with him as well.
Let's have a look at that one, guys. We'll see what we can come up with Scooter. We've got them all coming down in this great big gaggle. There's like 6 of them all in there, and they're darting all over the place. So we're on with Scooter, and does he just overgas it? I think, yeah, he's probably hung out a bit too wide, and he gasses it a bit much. And it looks like Apex just missed him. He did collect Adam, but Apex managed to scoot through and take Adam's position. Now we're back with Cloakade.
Well, they would have been 2 big names taken out of the race had Apex and Adam been unceremoniously punted there. So glad they got through.
They were caught up in the aftermath there of Scooter 82, so it really slowed them up, and that brought Stefko only up into 11th place. It looks like Adam and Apex have both gotten past Stefko again as Stefko picks up a 1 second penalty, but we'll go back to the front with Cloakade. He's got a 5.4 second lead over Chris. That looks like the pace there is just slowly starting to die off. A 36.4 last lap for Cloakade, plays a 36.5 for Chris, so he's still gaining by a tenth or 2, but the tyres are starting to look a little bit second hand compared to those mediums.
Yeah. Well, Chris has got Zoo all over him, and he's driving defensively to keep him behind him at the moment, because Zoo does have those soft tyres. So the more he can hold him up here, then the better it'll be at the tail end for Fixer Chris, certainly over Zoo. But these guys have got a comfortable lead over the next group, which is led by Teaksy. And Teaksy's on those mediums with Pure Axle now harassing him. So Zoo's managed to get past Teaksy and get 4 seconds up the road. And Teaksy's now heading this next train, which has 2 of the flat-out racing cars in it. I'm very happy to see.
Yeah, with a 1.5 second penalty there out of the final corner there. I was going to say he was getting harassed by Tombo, was defending that very graciously, but looks like that penalty's just fallen him back. Behind Apex and Adam at the moment, down to 10th place, so hopefully he'll be able to hook on with those 2 guys and fight up towards the back of the field. And it looks like Apex also with another with a penalty as well out of turn 1. Those are hot spots that we mentioned earlier on tonight. Queensland Devil Racer, they're catching out some of the wheel-to-wheel's finest.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we said, that the penalties wouldn't be as stiff, but they would be more frequent, and that's exactly what's happening so far. So proving that if you can keep the car within the track limits, you'll get a good result. But coming around to sort of halfway through lap 9, I would be expecting our medium runners to be pitting, if not this lap, certainly in the next 1 or 2.
I would definitely say probably the next lap. I would probably say lap 9's probably a little bit early for our medium runners. I think pushing them, was it 16 laps, would probably be a bit too much of an ask for the softs. So I'd probably say another lap or two and you'll start seeing a mad dash for the pits.
Yeah, well, Fixer Chris is our leading medium runner, so he's not pitting. He's going around again.
And Pure Axel,
we've then got Pure Axel
down the inside of Dale. Pure Axel doesn't get a penalty, so well done there to Pure Axel.
It's the first time for everything.
So everyone going around for at least another lap. Scooter 82 bringing up the rear at the moment. He's 23 seconds behind Cloakade.
The pit entry here for the Red Bull Ring comes right as the apex of turn 9 finishes, so it's going to be a very, very dangerous pit entry here for the guys, and they've got to be just that little bit more careful around the next couple of laps, try and not cause an incident.
Yeah, so coming around for lap 10 now, we've still got Fixer Chris holding off Zoo for second place. This would be frustrating the life out of Zoo that he can't get around him. He would know that he's being held up on mediums, but just cannot make that move around Chris at the moment.
Yeah, he's lost a bit of life out of the front of those soft tyres there, so it might just be impeding his ability just to hold mid corner speed to try and get a run there on Fixer Chris. As you see, Chris is going to make it. No, Chris goes out for another lap. Looks like Chris is going to run his mediums long here and keep the fresher softs for towards in the race. And I'm not seeing anyone pitting again.
Yeah, we have got one in, Adam V. Adam V's is in the pits. Scooter 82's coming around. He's going for another lap. So Adam V's our first pit stop. So he'll be looking to get the undercut here.
Lap 10 for Adam V is when he comes into the pits. It is, again, a fairly long transit time here in the pit lane. Looks like it was about 10 to 15 seconds there before he was in the box, and then you've got to add 3 or 4 seconds to swap the tyres over, and then we're looking probably another 5 to 10 seconds for the fuel, and out he goes now onto the track, and he's going to end up.
All of this battling for second place between Chris and Zoo has just handed it's handing a massive lead to Cloakade. He's out to 6.5 seconds now. He's running away with it at the moment. So really making hay while the sun shines with a clear track and soft tyres.
Super quick update for Adam V. He ended out of the pits about 20.5 seconds behind Scooter 82. But got himself a half-second penalty for the incorrect entry into pit lane there.
Oh, that is unfortunate. So I didn't realise we could get a penalty, and Chris is in the pits. I didn't realise we could get a penalty for pit entry.
Yeah, look, Adam V was a bit wide there into pit entry. It was probably about 2 car lengths outside the lines there, and I think the game has just picked him up for a corner cut.
So a few people pitting now. Apex also in the pits with the most fuel out of everyone there by a significant margin. And Stefko and Scooter both in the pits as well.
And at 7 litres a second is the refueling rate here for wheel to wheel. That's going to give Apex either a bit of a jump on the guys that were ahead of him, or he's going to gain a second or two here.
So with Zoo now released to hopefully be able to put down some clean laps, 6.6 seconds behind Cloakade, he'll be looking to bring that gap in, but he really only has 3, 4, maybe 5 laps to do it in.
Chris is out, he's about 6 seconds ahead of Adam V, and Apex Humper comes out about 2 seconds behind Adam V. There's about 4 seconds from Adam to Stefko, and Scooter's going to have probably about an 8.5 to 9 second gap from Stefko in 12th spot. But
So
6.5 seconds is the gap at the front from Cloakade and Zoo.
yeah, and then look, I'll be interested to see how much Chris is able to, because he's got clear track at the moment, back in 8th with fresh softs. So it'll be interesting to see what difference he can make on that, what undercut he can get on that 6.5 seconds over Cloakade when Cloakade does eventually pit.
And
We've got a few more coming in now.
Next to the medium runners, these
Pure
medium
Axel.
guys are running a little bit longer than what I thought. I would have thought I would see. I thought I would have seen a mad dash of all of them coming in around the same time, but 10 to 12 was the split there, and I think we've now we've got Dale. Dale's still on the mediums in 3rd at the moment, so Dale's running really long on those medium tyres.
He's achieving sort of high 136s, low 137s, and doing it consistently. At the moment, the fastest lap of the race is a 135.8. So you would say that you know they're costing him a second a lap. So you don't want to be out there as long as you have to.
Yeah, Cloacade's tyres are now starting to fall off a little bit. His last 2 to 3 laps are a 36.4, a 36.9, and a 37.0. He's now another half second slower on his personal best time this time around.
Yeah, so he's feeling the pain of those soft tyres being driven for 13 laps now.
Whether he's taken a bit too much life out of them for pushing
And
them. He's
here we
in
go.
the pits now.
He's in the pits, so really interested to see now the gap that exists between him and Chris when he comes out of the pits.
And
So Chris
Zuzu continues on with the softs. Oily continues on, and I was going to say Dale continues on as well, but Dale's decided to pit it in.
Chris has just posted purple on his lap, so he's really hammering at the moment. I would imagine that 6.5 second lead that Cloakade had over him will have shrunk by the time he comes out of the pits.
And it looks like Fixer Chris filled up as well, so he didn't have to fuel save for this final stint. And he's just coming around under the start-finish gantry now. Cloacade's just coming out of the pits. 3.5 tenths purple goes Fixer Chris at 35.4. That's his lightning pace around here.
Yeah, look, it certainly is. As we come onto the back straight now, he's 2.5 seconds behind Cloakade, so 4 seconds he brought him in. That undercut was worth then. Wow, that was amazing. And now with Chris on softs and Cloakade on mediums, you'd be thinking with 11 laps to go, he's going to bring him in.
And just to give guys a bit of an idea of what sort of pace we're running here, the Group 3s we ran around here last season were only about 10 seconds faster than these sorts of times. So these guys absolutely killing it around here in these Ferraris.
Zoo out in the lead. 6.5 seconds seems to be the key figure at the moment. So he's 6.5 ahead of Oily, and they're running those softs for another lap. So they'll be doing it 15. Oily's got lots of fuel.
Yeah,
so,
Oily is the king of fuel saving. I think he might be running that car on oil at the moment because he's absolutely done a monster job of fuel saving. And he's pushing hard as well.
And his tyres are significantly better than Zoo's, so look, he could definitely do 16, 17 laps on these softs.
Yeah, look, Zoo's tyres probably aren't going to look the best after being caught up behind Dale there for a couple of laps. Those fronts probably would have had to work a little bit harder to try and get past Dale as Zuzu goes a bit wide at turn 4, catches a bit of gravel there. It doesn't pull him in, but it gives him a bit of a squirm there. That's going to cost him a few tenths. And
yes, there's these guys out in front. So Zoo doing high 136s. Oily's copped a penalty there. So, and he's doing low 137s. So even though he's saved fuel and his tyres look great, his lap times are certainly suffering at the moment.
Cloquet in third place at the moment. He's only got 7/10 on Fixer Chris, so that gap was all but disappeared, and I think Cloquet's going to be running quite a defensive line for the rest of this race as we see Zuzu finally make it into the pits 15 laps in, and I think you'll see Oily following him Oily's gone out for another lap.
Yeah, so getting the most out of these soft tyres, but all the action at the moment is for third place with Cloquet and Chris. I can't see him holding him off for 10 laps, surely. You'd have to make that Ferrari an extra 6 foot wide to be able to do that.
See, my perspective
Here we
for
go.
Oily, though...
Oh, here we go. So the better drive out of that last corner due to the soft tyres is really helping Chris up this main drag, and he will make it under brakes here easily. Bit of a rub.
Yeah, it doesn't give him too much room there.
No.
But I think
Easily done.
I think Cloquet may have got a bit of a run there. He's coming back slowly but surely onto Fixer Chris there, and I think he might he's going to look for a move down the inside here at turn 3.
Oh.
Chris last of the late breakers though, about a half.
Zoo's come out of the pits and immediately got another penalty, guys, as Pure Axel makes a move on him now for 4th.
Mate, you've definitely given out the commentator's curse tonight, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, I really... Sorry, Zoo. So Chris now with essentially the race lead once Oily goes into the pits. Cloquet will really looking to hang on to the back of him and get the most out of these mediums and slipstream and just hold on to him, because coming up behind him is Pure Axel on softs, whose last lap was a 1:35.8, and before that was a 1:35.6, and then a 1:35.4, so he is on a charge.
Yeah, and looks like Pure Axel had the fastest lap before Fixer Chris came in the 35.471. Pure Axel was a 35.480.
Yeah. Look, he got past Zoo at turn 2, and in a couple of corners he's pulled out 1.3 seconds. So yeah, look, he is on a charge to hunt down Cloquet, who is 4 seconds up the road.
Well, he's on to lap 17 of those softs. In my personal opinion, there is taking advantage of the soft tyre, and then there is running the soft tyre beyond its limits, and I think Oily may have done that, unfortunately, and I think you'll see him drop like a stone once he comes.
Did we tell him he's got a pit? Like, he knows he does have to do at least one pit stop, doesn't he? He'll have to pit this lap. He doesn't have fuel to do any more than that. So.
Well, he could do the Ferrari strap and start running it on oil again. It he might get a word or two from the stewards post race about that if he decides to take that path. But yeah, he will definitely be in this lap, and I think you'll see him. I think the benefit of trying to run on the fastest tyre for as long as possible will be outweighed by the fact that the better tyre, the life of the better tyre has sort of run out probably a couple of laps ago.
Yeah, so into the pits with 1 litre of fuel, so really driving it to its limits. Chris will come through to take the actual race lead now, and he's broken the slip of Cloquet, so out to a 1.7 second lead now. Unless, and I hate to do it, unless he cops some penalties, you would think he's going to now run away with it.
Yeah, look, the next battle we're going to be having to look out for is the battle between Pure Axel and Cloquet. It's about 3.5 seconds there, so it'll be a few laps before we see them catch each other up. But Zoo and Adam V, 4th and 5th at the moment. It looks like Zoo's trying to break the slip from Adam. Adam's taken none of it.
Well, Adam's on the softs and Zoo is on the...
inside.
Yeah, he'll outbrake him here with those soft tyres.
Regulatory move there from Adam V, but he was a bit squirmily out of the exit of the corner. So was Zoo, getting caught up on the sausage curb there. And Apex will be looking to get past Zoo there for 5th place. And Zoo will be looking to hitch a ride with Adam V for the rest of this, for the rest of the laps that are due to be run here.
Yeah, look, this is going to be heartbreaking here for Zoo. He's the only one on mediums in that group. So they'll all be hounding him over these last seven laps to get around him. Oh, he's gone. What's happened there? Zoo's gone, taken an interesting line through those corners, and Apex has gone around him.
Unless Zoo was giving up the position to Apex and just
of course, they're teammates, yes.
They are indeed as well,
yes.
So unless Zoo was probably giving Apex the position, knowing not to fight team, and also knowing that the result comes from the overall time and not from the position you finish in the lobby. And I've got to say, Oily back out in the track on his mediums was causing a bit of a train with Tombo, G and Stefko. He gives the position to G for the corner, and then compromises Stefko on the exit of turn 1 there.
So Oily not... Oh, geez, he didn't take on a lot of fuel, but the way he saved it in the first stint, he'll be fine. G-Force up into 9th, so running home on the softs, and only a second behind Tombo, so he's certainly the target for the G-Man to run down.
2.6 is now the gap between Clocade and Pure Axle for the fight for second to third, and then 2.8 between Pure Axle and Adam for the final step at the podium there. These guys are starting to run out of laps here to make up these gaps, as Adam V was a little bit wide out of the exit of the second left-hander. Gives up the position to Apex Humper to try and negate any form of penalty that may have occurred. And so Apex Humper now up into 4th position.
Yeah, well, Adam V doesn't mind getting under the wing of Apex. We saw it a lot last season. He would get behind him and fuel save and look after the tyres and make his move later on.
Just to note as well, there is a massive fuel difference between Apex Humper and Adam V. Adam V probably almost down to a quarter of a tank, where Apex Humper still sitting nearly half a tank of fuel. So may have been a tactical move by Apex from Adam there, to just stick behind the rear wing of Apex Humper and save a bit of fuel. And the gap between...
I actually think Apex might have overfueled, to be honest, because half a tank will get you, 7 or 8 laps here. So he may have overfueled a little bit.
Depending on his fuel usage is how the fuel's calculated in your pit stop. So he may have overfueled to be able to run a bit harder on those soft tyres. Because we know Clocade did not do a lot of fuel saving in his first stint. So I think Apex was added a few extra litres there into the tank just to negate the fuel saving figure that he would have been given into his pit stop.
Pure Axle in behind Cloquet. The last few laps he's been about half a second a lap quicker, which he needs to be quicker than that. It's not going to be enough to reel him in before the end of this race.
The gap's blown out to 3.1 seconds, so it looks like Pure Axle may have got a penalty that last lap, because the gap between him and Apex is now down to 1.3, and that gap is closing quite quickly.
And Pure Axle has significantly less fuel than Apex as well. So, look, I'm thinking Apex may have just taken on more than he needed.
We'll have to wait and see when we come towards the dying laps of this race here, but we're...
If he's got the correct amount of fuel, then we could see a lot of cars slowing down in the last lap significantly.
Well, he's burning through that fuel quite quickly as well, so the difference is sort of starting to close in a little bit. So I think Apex might be onto something here to try and make up a bit of time, a bit of time and a few positions here on the guys around him. But look, I don't think I'm going to make a bold prediction here, and I don't think Clocade and Chris are going to be caught. I think the big battle will come towards the end with Pure Axel, Apex Humper, and Adam V for the final spot on the podium there.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there. Cloacade's, as we get towards the end of the tyre stint, the mediums that don't degrade anywhere near at the rate of the softs, the difference between the two will become less and less. So every lap that goes by, the diminishing returns that you get from the softs will come into play there.
Yeah, Dale was a little bit wide on the exit of turn 1 there. Picks up a half-second penalty, so so take 2 for Dale Teagues here in the second of his stints here. And
Yeah, look,
he's got a bit of a time to make up as well. 1.8 seconds on Zoo.
So a half a second penalty is worth about 2 seconds in reality here, depending on where you get it. And look, these penalties have really been the defining thing for a lot of drivers tonight, haven't they?
They have indeed, Devil. And again, those hot spots, turn 1, turn 6, I think is the second of the left-handers, and then turns 8 and turns 9 and 10.
Yeah,
they've
yeah.
really
Look,
been
9.
the hot spots for penalties here.
I've seen a 2-second penalty out of the lap 9-10 section, but that's the biggest penalty I've seen so far.
Yeah, look,
not tonight, but during practice.
Yeah, look, if you really want to push the boundaries, you can just forego running in between the white lines, make your own racing line. I've been able to pick up 4 seconds, but you really have to try to go any further than 2 seconds for a penalty there. But we're about 3 laps to go here in this final race. Time at the moment, it's about 36:30 at the moment. I saw a 41 flat earlier today from Cloacaide in practice, so I think we're going to be hitting around that sort of time frame there for an overall.
G in 9th is making a play on Tombo. Ooh, will he get it? Not quite up there.
The young and the old.
Star-crossed lovers. Yeah, look, G's tyres are a lot better than Tombo's. Fuel is equal on both of them, so G will be harassing him over these last 2.5 laps now.
This is truly the battle of controller versus wheel. I don't know what else we can call this battle.
I know G is running a very aggressive brake bias to the rear on his car, so that may explain the difference in condition, and particularly those front tyres. So he was telling me earlier on today that he was quite aggressive, quite hard on his front tyres, so he was going to compensate it by running brake bias to the rear. And it looks as though it's going to pay dividends for him now in the latter part of this race.
And 2 laps to go. We've got G's got a bit of work to get past Tombo. Tombo's not going to make that move easy at all, and that's going to be your battle there, I think.
Trying to come up, no, shows the nose.
The battle between Apex and Pure Axel, that gap's not closing as quick as what I thought it would, but the gap between Cloacaide and Pure Axel is now down to about 1.4 seconds, 1.5 seconds outside turn 3, so I think the
Rusty's, Rusty's holding out, 2 Rusty's drivers holding out 2 flat-out racing drivers here at the moment, just over the last 2 laps, so we could see Rusty's further extend their lead depending on where they finish, or we could see flat-out racing start to make a move into that top 3.
And then we've also got a V Corsa and Adam V holding out 2 damn good races in Dale and Zoo.
So Pure Axel's fuel light is flashing. So is Cloacaide, so is Fixer Chris's.
And
Not surprisingly, Apex seems to be the only one.
Going to jump in there real quick. G has gotten past Tombo. Probably up at turn 3 there. So the Golden Mullet lives on in 8th place.
Go G-Man, showing that he really is, this is where he belongs in Split 1.
As we've hit the final lap now, the one last tour of the Red Bull Ring. And Pure Axel having to defend heavily against Apex Humper here, going to turn 1. Apex Humper just a bit early on the brakes, just to line a stern, get the line. And Pure Axel having to take a defensive line again, going up to turn 3. Didn't get the run out of the corner. Apex with the slip pulls out. He's going to try and have to make a move around the outside here. Pure Axel's not going to make it easy for him. And around the outside Apex goes. He's going to drive into Pure Axel. Pure Axel just holds him high and wide. Owns the corner there. They're still side by side out of turn 3. Boys, we can't break these two people.
No, and as we come into the next tight right-hander, Pure Axel still with the inside line here. So, but Apex has the lead around the outside. Will he make it stick? Pure Axel.
Oh, there's the gravel.
Yeah.
Small touch of gravel there from Apex.
If Apex can hold it, he'll have the inside for the next run, which
Pure
he is
Axel
able
holding
to.
tight. He's not giving him any racing room whatsoever. He wants Apex to fight for this podium position. The battle of the Kiwis.
Slots in behind him. Oh, Apex! Oh, that could be close to a penalty there. No, I don't think. I think he's got away with that. Shows the nose up the inside. But back out in the lead, guys. Fixer Chris. We haven't spoken much about him. He's done it quietly and well. 5-second lead as he crosses the finish line. Well done, Chris. Followed by Cloakade. Yeah, Pure Axel will hold off Apex by 1/10 of a second. Adam V crosses the line in 5th. Teaksy, Zoo, G-Man will lead home Tombo by not much at all. Then Stefko with the Wheat Bix. Oil in My Blood brings home 11th, and Scooter in for 12th.
And as the saying goes, you don't need to teach old dog a new trick. The old dog new tricks, because he's killed it tonight. And one more game for everyone to play. Name the driver who didn't receive a penalty that race.
Yeah. Did Chris get one?
I think so.
Cloakade was the only driver that avoided the penalty bug.
There you go.
So bonus points to Cloakade.
And brought it home in 2nd place. So showing that keeping it between the white lines and where it needs to be gives the good result. So, but well done, Fixer Chris, on a win in our main event race tonight. And Cloakade, obviously really good strategy run, making the most of those soft tyres early on and then holding off the field. Good to see Pure Axel up into 3rd, but 40 minutes, 53 seconds total time for Fixer Chris. So really good time there as well. And actually Pure Axel was 41.00008. Interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight at Red Bull Ring in Austria for round 5 of season 9, split 1. Thank Touchy and Dodgy for joining us here, and everyone else at home.
Yep, and absolutely. Before we do go, I will just say next week is our last race for the year. Not the season. We're having a midweek break. We're having a mid-season, break for Chrissy. So there's going to be a couple of weeks off after next week. It is an endurance round at Circuit de la Sarthe in the GR3s. While you're looking at a pick there, I will let you know the times are incorrect. Split 1 is actually 7:30 and split 2 is 5:30. So next week, again, our last one before Christmas at La Sarthe for a Le Mans style race, a nice enduro. So hope to see you there.
And definitely stick around for the stream. The curtain raiser tonight for split 2. You'll see both myself and Devil Racer banging doors for the rest of the night in split 2, starting about 7:30, so half an hour from now.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Hopefully there's not too much door banging, but yeah, looking forward to it.
I won't make it pass easy for you. How's that sound?
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, fellas. Have a good night.
All the cars are lined up on the grid as they wait for the lights to go out. The revs are building. Let's go racing.